What's this? Okay, so this is the syllabus for 104. Let me make sure no one has a question. Mirza Kandov, do you have a question, or did you forget to lower your hand? And Santos also, if it's not a question. Mirza Kandov, you have a question, Mirza Kandov?
No, sorry, it was just up because I forgot to turn it off.
All right, very good. Okay, all right, let's get into the syllabus. So, let's go a little bit. So my office hours, just so you know, are every day at 6 p.m. in this classroom. So you just go on the link. So for instance, if you want to meet on Tuesday, you just do the same link. It's the same classroom link. So, and then you come in and there will be another class, but I'm done at 6 and then you can talk to me. So if any of you need to talk at any point, every day at 6 p.m., not Friday, just Monday through Thursday, I'm available. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the course that you have wandered into. So this course I mentioned briefly in the announcements is going to be a course on the ethics of love. So if you are in a relationship or want to be in a relationship or have just broken up, this is the class for you, right? In this class, you're going to learn all the skills that you didn't have and you're going to learn new skills that you will need. So it's a very useful class. It really is, the information in this class is information you're going to really use in your own lives, which is really rare in terms of a college education. We will be doing some of the masterpieces of ethical literature, obviously, but with that focus on love, right? So we'll be, our texts are going to span through space and time. So we're going to be looking at texts that are very ancient and looking at texts also that are very far away from us, right? Different culture, different language. So this is kind of, I almost talk about this class like a study abroad class, right? You're going to be really encountering very foreign ways of thinking and from very distant lands, right? And also from lands closer to home. So we'll be starting with the Song of Songs. So I'm going to just type it in. And this is a very ancient text from the Hebrew Bible. It's actually a very beautiful love poem that is sung by a woman. So we're going to have right away kind of a female perspective. We're going to begin and end with a female perspective. All the others will be males, so we'll have a good balance, right? So it's a very beautiful poem, which is not only beautiful, but there is a lot of wisdom hidden in the poem, right? This poem belongs to the genre of wisdom literature. So in this poem, you should expect to see more than pretty, beautiful words that are spun, right? There's also a lot of wisdom that is hidden in the text, and we will be trying to decipher it together, right? So that's the first text. We'll do very ancient text from the Hebrew Bible. Then we will go to Plato's Symposium, very famous work on love. This is a dialogue. This is basically the Symposium is a bad translation. The real title of the book should be The Party. That's really what it means in the Greek. And this is a party where a bunch of people got together, and then one of them had an idea and said, let's do a competition and see who has the best ideas on love. And so they all, one after the other, begin to speak. It's a very diverse group of speakers, and they all talk about their perspective on love. So it's very interesting. The next one we'll be doing is Rumi's Bridge to the Soul. So this is a collection of poems from a Sufi poet. Sufism is actually a mystical branch of Islam, which emerged around the Middle Ages. It's very different from traditional Islam, but it still has its roots in Islam. So we'll be studying kind of the love poetry from that tradition. This is love poetry typically addressed to God, but we're going to try to draw the lessons for our own relationships, right? Love is universal. Whatever works for God works for others too. Then we'll get into some heavier philosophical literature. We'll be doing Kant's groundwork. It's a bigger name. It's actually Kant's groundwork to the metaphysics of morals. And there we're going to be studying the concept of respect, actually. We talk a lot about respect, but do we really know what that is, right? So this idea that love needs respect, and what is respect? So we'll talk about that. And then we'll go to Kierkegaard, Works of Love. which in my view is a masterpiece of literature, right? This is a beautiful essay on love based on the teachings of the Gospels, right? So Kierkegaard, in a way, has stumbled on the Gospels. He has read and reflected on the teachings of Jesus, and then he wrote this book as an inspiration from these teachings, right? So he's developing, in a way, the teachings of the Gospels in a way that's very profound. So in this text, actually, we're going to be talking about the concept of hope. How, in a way, you can't love someone without also knowing how to hope for them, right? So, and we're going to talk about also how hope is a powerful, it's a powerful gesture. In other words, hope actually has, when you hope in a relationship, it actually has an impact on the relationship. You can transform your relationship just by knowing how to hope. So we're going to talk about that. Then we'll do Buber, I and thou. And here we're going to go into what Buber calls the mystery of the other, right? So Buber is going to remind us that our beloveds are always a mystery. And how can we protect and cherish this mystery? How do we love our beloveds in a way that enhances their mystery rather than squashes it, right? And finally, we end with Irigaray, to be two. So this is our last woman. We had first woman, last woman. She's a feminist author from France, and she has written a beautiful work on relationships, very poetic, where she talks especially about the more physical aspect of relationships, right? We're going to learn a lot about what it means to love someone and what it means to communicate love in a physical way to somebody. So this should be a very nice way to end our class. So that's the program. Any questions on anything I said so far? I'm losing my voice. Okay. Now, very important that you buy the books. They're all on the online bookstore. So you need to get them there. If you don't want to get them there, you have to first go to the online bookstore and make sure you see the cover of the book, what it looks like, and then make sure you buy the same one, because each of these books has very different editions, right? So you need to buy the right edition to be able to follow in class. So make sure you get the right book, right? So you need to buy those. You have some time because we are only starting the Song of Songs next week. If you don't have that book, you can get it from a Bible. So you have some time to get all the books, but you need to get them ASAP. You need to have all of those books with you for the class. Okay. All right, before I go into the course requirements, I want to talk briefly about the three virtues that you will need to be able to read philosophy, right? It's quite difficult, right, to read. You will notice that philosophy is a little more difficult to follow than the average book that you've had in your hands before. So I'm going to give you kind of a three-step initiation to how to handle these books, right? These are one of the main things that you'll notice as you start reading is that you don't understand as much as you want to understand, right? It's it's cryptic. A lot of philosophers write in a cryptic way, right? So I want to initiate you briefly so that you have an idea how to approach these texts so that you don't get frustrated, because you will, if you don't have this initiation, you will read, not understand, and feel frustrated. So there's three virtues you have to have as you try to read philosophy. The first one is wonder. The second one is enjoyment. And the third one is urgency. Okay. So if you have these three attitudes, you're going to really flow through the class effortlessly, right? You won't have any problems with the readings. The readings are not going to cause you any problems, right? So first of all, wonder. When you read philosophy, you should never go into a philosophy text with the attitude that I should be understanding this. No, because you won't understand it, right? I'm just going to say it straight up. These kind of texts you cannot understand without a teacher, right? You can't just sit down and open Kant or Kierkegaard and be like, I'm going to understand. No, right? It's not going to work. So these texts are right away going to feel inaccessible, beyond what you can handle, right? And this is normal. I want it to be like that. So you should enter not with the desire to understand or to grasp or to master the text, but with a spirit of wonder, of curiosity, of exploration, right? And this takes a certain humility, right? So in other words, you have to have a certain humility and be like, I know I'm not going to understand everything, and that's okay. That way, you're not going to get frustrated. Because if you try to understand, you're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna be like, I don't understand. And so you're gonna either think, oh, it's me, I'm stupid, or you're gonna think, oh, it's them, they're stupid, right? So that you don't have to do that, just enter in a spirit of wonder, exploration. You're exploring. And that's what I want. I just want you to be there, be in the presence of this great mind, and just, how does it feel, right? So that's the first point. So does everybody get this first point? Put your hand in the screen. Okay, so first of all, I need a lot more screens to be on. This is impossible to teach a class with a bunch of dark screens. I'm going to talk about these screens in a second. So I want everyone to put on the screen, please. And to keep your screens on. Okay, that way we can communicate. You will notice that as I'm teaching, I'm communicating a lot. I'm often going to go to gallery view and ask you, do you see what I'm saying? Put your hands, so you need to be there, right? Okay, so what did I just ask? Yes, everybody understands this first point, this notion of wonder, right? Put your hand on the screen if you see what I'm saying, right? That's the first virtue that you will need to really be able to navigate these texts, right? Second virtue is enjoyment. So this one, it means a lot to me, right? This one is very important because if you enjoy something, you're automatically open to it, right? Anytime you enjoy some food or a movie or a human being, you're very open. And so you completely receive, right? To enjoy is to receive. If you don't enjoy, you're going to be always pushing back. So it's very important in order to really allow the text to enter you, you have to be in a situation of enjoyment. And so how I suggest you read the text is you take the best moment of the day, you make yourself some tea, you find a nice quiet spot, you open the book, you know you won't understand a thing, and that's okay. And you just enjoy sitting there, reading, you're relaxed, it's fine, I don't understand anything, but it's okay. I'm just gonna enjoy what it's like to not understand. That's the second way, the second virtue that I want you to get. So everybody gets that one, the enjoyment? Okay. Now, the last virtue is urgency. And this one is especially good for this class because in this class we are studying love and there's not a single person who doesn't struggle with love. So in this class, I want you to see these texts as possibly the missing piece of your puzzle. Any one of these authors could bring you the solution you've been looking for ages to resolve your relationship crisis, right? So you never know. So I want you to read with urgency. Like maybe this is the one that will show me what I've been missing, that will give me the key that I haven't, that I've lost, so that I can finally navigate my relationship in a peaceful and harmonious way, right? So you read with a sense of urgency, like maybe this is the guru or the master I've been looking for. Maybe Rumi will have what I need. Maybe Kierkegaard has the answer. That's how you read, okay? So those are the 3 points. All good? Hand in the screen? Okay, very good. All right, I need to hurry because I'm running out of battery, which means that I'll have to choose between charging my computer and you seeing me. So I'm gonna hurry. Okay, we don't have much left. It's fine. All right, let's go into the requirements. Attendance. So the class is synchronous, meaning you have to come to the lectures. You have to be there. And I will ask you to turn your cameras on. It's very important. I teach in a very interactive way. I'm constantly checking on you. I'm always dialoguing with you and responding to your questions. So I need you to be there, right? If you're not there, actually, I'm not going to teach as well. So whoever doesn't yet have a camera, you need to figure it out. You need to get a camera. You've had 6 months. You're not new at this. You need to fit. All computers have a camera. So there's no reason, right? You don't need to buy anything. You should be able to have your camera working. On a computer. So yes, so I really need you to get a camera. I see that most of you are there. That's good. There's just a few which have told me they will have a camera next time. So excellent. Okay. So main assignment in this class, daily assignment, will be what I call the reading assignment. So let me write this down here for you, reading assignment. So in fact, when you hand in the reading assignment in the Google Drive, it will say RA, right? R.A. Buber, R.A. Kierkegaard, this is reading assignment, okay? Reading assignment is very simple. You can be a complete dummy and do well. Reading assignment is 1 page, 4 paragraphs, single spaced, okay? That's what it looks like. The first 2 paragraphs are questions you have about the text, and the last 2 paragraphs are critiques, okay? So you're reading the text, for example, and you realize, oh, I don't understand this, what the author is saying. I wonder what he means by this word or by this sentence. And you tell me, I don't understand this. And then you try to answer it. Oh, maybe he means that, maybe she means that, I don't know. And you can be completely wrong, it's fine, right? It's just, I want you to start thinking about the text. That's what the exercise is for, right? So 2 questions. And then the last 2 paragraphs, 2 criticisms. So this means now you understood, but you disagree. I don't like the way, she's saying that. I don't like the way he writes. You can say whatever you want, right? So this assignment, you can't go wrong. If you're doing the 4 paragraphs, it's just for me to get you started struggling with the text, grappling with the text. You're responding, you're starting to think about it. That's the goal of the assignment, okay? Any questions on the assignment, what it looks like? Okay. Now, here's the catch. This assignment is only counted if it's handed in on time. So in other words, you have to have it in my Google Drive before class time, because as soon as class begins, I put you in your groups and I start grading those assignments. Okay, so if it's not there, you're not going to get the point, right? It's only 1 point, so it's okay. If you miss a couple, it's okay, but make sure you don't lose too many of those points, because those little points, they are your safety net. In this class, I have structured it so that your exams, your test average, if you do all the little assignments, you get a whole letter grade above. So for example, if all your tests are C, if you have a C average in your tests and you do all the little assignments, boom, you have a B at the end, right? So don't mess these little points up, because they're your friends, right? They're your safety net. Mirza Kandov, you have...
Yeah, I want to, what did you mean? Like, that's why you put us into groups so you can grade it. Like, can you explain that one more time? I'm a little confused by that.
Yeah, you'll be, when class starts, oh, I'm going to get to that. Hold on. I'll get to that in a second. Main thing you remember for this, you have to hand it in the Google Drive before class time. That's the main thing. And it's worth 1 point. If it's not in the Google Drive before class time, you will miss that point.
And this is the reading assignment?
That's the reading assignment. Yes. Okay, any other questions on the reading assignment? Okay. Now, the group discussions, which is what Mirza Kandov was asking. Mirza Kandov, do you have a brother?
Yes, I have many. I'm one of 7.
Oh, really? Do I know your brother?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't know. I don't know.
Ask your family. I had a Mirza Kandov in the class a little while back. A big guy.
I'll ask.
Okay. Okay, back to the back to the syllabus, because I have like 9% left. I want to finish before. Okay. Group discussions, this is in connection to the reading assignment. So once you've done, so basically each time you have a reading assignment. So anytime the syllabus shows page numbers, right? You see, all upside down, right? Anytime you have page numbers, you do a reading assignment, and you know when you come to class, you'll have a discussion, group discussion on it. So you come to class, you will have 20 minutes of discussion about the text that you just read. And the way you discuss is based on your reading assignments. So you keep a copy for yourself, right? So you will basically share with your group your 2 questions and your 2 critiques. And the group needs to respond to you, right? Don't just sit there, guys, and listen, right? Respond. If they have a question and you know the answer, you tell them. If you disagree with their criticism, you say it, right? This is a discussion, right? So the first 20 minutes of class, each time you have a reading, you will be kind of going through sharing your questions, your concerns, your critiques with the people in your group, and that will be kind of the second level of getting into the text. So here's again the catch. This is also worth just 1 point, but if you're late, you will not be admitted into your group and you will lose the points. So you need to be on time. Very important, right? Make sure you're on time. That way, when I put everyone in their groups, everyone is here, right? If you're late, you'll just hang out in the big virtual classroom by yourself for 20 minutes until everybody else comes back. So don't panic. If you're late, just stay. We'll all come back eventually, right? But you'll be by yourself, miserable and abandoned, right? And I'm not going to be there either. There'll just be my picture. Okay, so don't be late, because you will not only find yourself abandoned, but you will lose that precious point, which can help you, right, in the future. So any questions on the discussion? Mirza Kandav, is it clear now?
I'm still a little bit confused. Like, what do you mean, like, you won't be here? Like, can you explain that again? I'm sorry, I'm just confused.
So if you come in and you're late on the day that there's a discussion, you will not be admitted into the discussion groups. So just hang out in the big virtual classroom by yourself until we all come back. That's the idea.
Got it, okay.
Got it? Okay, good. Okay, the tests. Okay, so this is the big one. The test is what you want to really do good on. This is the main, right? This is 60 points of everything, right? So the tests are the bulk. So for the tests, don't worry too much. Oh, I failed to give you the test questions. Now I have them. Yeah, test questions are in the syllabus. So you know already ahead of time what the test question will be. So you can, as you're taking notes for the class, you think about your test question. The test question, we'll talk about it a little more, but in general, for each question, you'll do a whole page, single-spaced. You will bring in the quotes from the authors that we studied. So that's why you need your books, right? So anytime we are doing a text, you need to have your book, because any quote I am reading and commenting, you know you have to put it in your test. So you need to be ready with your book during class time, underlining, right, the quotes we study, because you will need those quotes for your test. There's 2 things you need to do good on the test. The quotes. So you need to always be ready with your book. When I'm talking about a quote, boom, you're like, yeah, which quote is it? Where is it? Okay, here I'm underlining. And the lecture. So you need to have excellent notes. Your notes need to be very detailed. That's the 2 things you need, your books, and you need to have a good, a very good transcription of the lectures, right? So make sure that in the lecture time, you are writing almost everything I'm saying, okay? That's how fast you need to learn to type or write or whatever. You need to be making sure you write as much as possible from the lecture, because I will be looking for that in your test answers, right? The more detailed your test answer, the more you have quotes, the better your grade, okay? Any questions on the test? Test or take home, you do at home with all your stuff. So no excuses. And if you miss a lecture, boom, you go to YouTube and you listen to it. So no excuses. Impossible to do badly. Any questions on the test? Okay, last thing, 5%. Oh, my computer is working. Okay.
How are these tests going to be done again?
You'll do it at home, and then you'll put it in my drive, in my Google Drive, when you're done.
Okay. And where's the Google Drive? It's on the syllabus?
It's on Blackboard. You click on test and assignment, boom, you're in there. You're in my Google Drive. And then you just, you're in the
sorry.
in the class folder, and you just hand it in the test folder. Yeah, very good. Other questions? Okay. Last assignment, the essay. So this one is a fun one. The only difficult assignment is the test, to be honest. Everything else is pretty easy, and the essay is very nice. In the essay is 1.5 pages single-spaced. Make sure it's really 1.5, right? Don't give me like 1.1. Okay, the essay is simply this. You want to think about a relationship crisis, whether it's in your life or in the life of someone you know. You tell me about that crisis a little bit. And then you tell me, what do the philosophers we just studied, how can they help? What advice would they give the 2 people in the crisis? Could be you, by the way, should be you. Ideally, it's you, right? But you can help others too. So you tell me the crisis, and then you tell me what would Plato say, right? What advice would, Kierkegaard give you? And you write about it. Very freestyle. I'm not looking at the horrendous way that you write. Right? I'm not looking at punctuation, nothing. Just write as it comes out, all bad. Right? It can be a letter to yourself. It can be a journal entry. It can be anything. Just very relaxed. You thinking about this problem in the light of the philosophies that we just studied, and you tell me about it. Okay? Any questions on that one? Okay. Now, by the way, the test, if you hand it in late, you lose 1 point. Okay? Don't do it late. Again, these are just 1 point, but they're precious points. They're the point that could give you from 89 to 90, B plus to A minus, right? So these are important points, right? So so make sure you hand in the test on time. If you don't, you will simply lose 1 point, right? Okay. I think I'm good. Any questions on anything we said?